welcome, man. We have Shahid, aka Sounds of Kites. How are you, buddy?
Yeah,
Welcome, Shade.
yeah, man. How you been, dude?
Oh, can't hear you, man.
Can't
Have
hear
you,
you, bro.
have you muted your
Ah,
mic?
there. Oh, that's better.
Yeah, I've been good. Uh, yeah, I've been good. I feel like to complain about things going bad.
No, complain, complain. That's what this podcast is for. Think of us as
No, but
think of it as
yeah,
Doctor Phil's sofa. Just sitting on the high chair like Doctor Phil and just complain.
yeah, but I feel like if I were to complain about something bad that happens to me, there are more people who had like worse days than me, so I feel a bit unfair for them. So I just listen to their story and just try to make something out of it, lah.
Fair enough, fair enough. But
Yeah.
but in terms of like, I guess the bummer is playing lah. Music. How have you been? We've all been stuck indoors and nothing happening. How's it been for you? How do you aside from the grind, your daily grind?
I mean, like when pandemic hits, I think I just got married at the same time, so it was like
Oh,
a whole completely different world to me. I had to
Yeah,
shift
yeah.
my guitars and everything to the apartment. So in a way, it's not like it disrupted my flow or my routine of music, but it's just it was a completely different world, So like the
yeah.
guitars were here in the room, and it felt like you go on a long holiday, and then you just had time to write music without actually having to perform it.
Yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, I mean, like people talk about the Spanish flu being the previously bad pandemic that happened to the world, and I feel like okay, now we're living in one, and people wrote songs about that probably. People,
Oh, sorry, we lost you.
Yeah, we lost
Said
your audio
we lost
again.
you sound. Ah.
We've lost your audio again. Oh, there we're back.
oh okay,
Ah,
that's odd.
yes.
Yeah, I mean like how uh like the Spanish flu. There was like a bad
Mm.
period of time for the world, and people wrote songs about it. People wrote songs about protests. People wrote songs about a particular event that happened in the world historically,
Yeah,
and now we're in one, right? So I feel like, in a way, this is the inspiration that some of us musicians would need, songwriters would need to write about something.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this podcast was born out of this.
That's
So
Yeah.
exactly. That's what this podcast is completely.
wouldn't have existed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just a bunch of frustrated idiots who wanted to fucking vent what they say things. So that's the entirely reason the podcast was born. So so that bores the question. Have you been writing songs based on the pandemic and the lockdowns and stuff? Okay, we've
Oh,
lost.
no
Here and
sound
there.
again. Ah,
Okay.
okay.
Oh, what is wrong
Yeah.
here?
Think the
Yeah,
internet. Right?
I have. I wrote a couple and a few more. I mean, like, I was watching this video that the Strokes released during their album launch, and if you guys listen to the Strokes, so over there, then they were talking about in New York at the beginning of pandemic, they had this thing called that they were all clapping at 7 p.m. for
Yeah,
all the nurses
for the
and the
nurses and stuff like that.
frontliners.
There. Yeah.
Yeah, and then like like hearing something like that, something new, then like that triggered it. That's the
Yeah.
thing that I want to write about. So I wrote a song about that. Probably performed it once for like some online show. I can't even remember how to play it. Yeah, and I wrote a few more. Uh, yeah, I mean, yeah, I wrote a few more. So
So you have been responding. I think that's interesting. I mean, some would, would make it, I think, very, very blatant about the pandemic. Was yours more kind of poetic, more direct, or in your own way? I know the way your songs are. Is it very, how do you say, the context of your songs that you wrote about the whole the experience that the Strokes went through, right? The
mm,
what was
mm.
happening in New York. Do you kind of localize that, or what's the
Yeah.
song called anyway? Yeah.
The
Yeah.
song called "Clapping at 7." I mean, that
Ah,
term.
Okay.
So it wasn't personalized then. It was just you reacting to something else that you've seen in the outside world that was
Yeah,
react
yeah.
react.
I mean, I rarely write songs that are personal
Okay.
in a way.
Ah.
It's usually songs that because of an idea that I hear from someone, or probably an imagination or fantasy that I have, then I try to write something on that. So with this clapping at 7, I think it was just how I imagined that situation would be, like being in an apartment complex, for example, and like 7 o'clock, people just go to their balconies and just clap,
Yeah,
clap,
that's what
clap.
they did. It was they did. We lost your audio again.
Oh
Here,
Oh,
shit! What is
yeah.
happening?
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they did the same in the UK and Ireland as well. It's
Mm.
kind of like they were just going out in the street and out in the balconies and at 7 p.m. clapping for it was like more for the frontline workers for the like the hospital and nurses and doctors and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, then I wonder, like, why don't we do such a thing here in Malaysia? Like, in Malaysia, it's all about, people talking about politicians, people talking about corruption, but then, we rarely talk about appreciation to those that, you know, help our lives be better.
Yeah,
And that's what we're
yeah.
missing, lah.
I think we were right. The pandemic, the whole government change. It's just like timing all.
Timing
People are
lari,
pissed
bro.
off. Timing, Larry. Yeah, I think people are pissed off, isn't it? It's like
yeah,
interesting. Yeah, but that's interesting point there. That we don't have something that has that similar collective thing going on aside from social media. It's very noisy, right?
I mean, the
Social
only
media is
collective,
noisy as hell, we. What?
damn noisy way.
I mean, the only collective thing that we do share among Malaysians, I feel, is, like the fight against corruption.
Yeah.
That's
Look at where that's going right now.
yeah. It's not going.
Or we get
It's
angry,
not going
man.
too well, guys. It's not going too well at
Yeah,
all.
man, what the hell? All that noise for nothing, huh? It's like, God, good Lord.
When
Aiyo.
they're, when they're about to give certain people 100 million to buy a house and fucking land, like
Yeah, convicted,
I mean,
blood.
that's like
Yeah.
big business,
convicted
You,
a guy, someone who should be in prison as we speak. For the last,
yeah,
Yeah.
that's like a big ass golden handshake, man. I mean, like, you work for a few years as a PM. Like, Ahmad Badawi was like, what, for 2-3 years as a PM. Then
Yeah, yeah.
he
Bro,
got a
that's not
house,
even a
man.
golden handshake, bro. That's something he applied for.
Apply and they can deny someone. I will not accept it. Wow, that's like you apply bank loan and then bank give you money. Say, sorry, I can't accept that.
yeah,
Thanks, bank.
exactly.
But yeah, you guys are nice,
Yeah,
bank.
pretty
But
much,
yeah, it's
pretty
like,
much.
but interesting lah. So the first half of the pandemic was, yeah, I mean, your life changed lah because you got married. Of course, those things are, it's like shifting. It's like the carpet shifting under you. And
Yeah,
how's that been, man?
yeah, being married.
Yeah, and with music, do you think that changed? I mean, that was always the greatest fear. I'll be honest, even when I got married, I was like, oh, is my music gonna change? Or, yeah. So actually, not really. After a while, I was like, oh no, yeah. How
I
do you
mean,
feel about that?
I mean, it's the same. I mean, my wife has a TV time and I have my music time. I told her, like, this room is mine. Like, I can do whatever I want with this shit. Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, but in a way, because live performances haven't really started, so
Mm,
I don't know the impact when that happens again.
that's true. That's true.
Like, being married, and whatnot. Yeah, but I've been trying to get as many online gigs as I can. Like some of us
Well, you've been playing a
musicians.
lot. Yeah.
I mean, I
Yeah.
try to here and there, but then like I was just talking to you, right? I mean, like, it's like fun and no fun at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Sort of mixed bag, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. I mean, it
So
was quite a bummer, right? Yeah.
how many shows have you been playing? Like, is it on the regular? Like, are you playing, like, a couple of shows a month, or how you been going about it? We lost you, dude.
We've lost you again. Lost your audio.
Sorry. No worries. Yeah. Ooh. Testing.
Hello.
Apa boleh edit?
Yeah,
Ah,
you're
there
back.
it is.
Hello.
Right.
Okay. Hello. Okay. What the hell happened? Uh, yeah. I mean, I try to get as many gigs as I can. Not that often, and probably because I don't like performing in front of a screen.
Mm.
The only person I can see is myself if I'm trying to be vain, but it's not fun. You know how that feels. Like
Yeah.
Mm.
it's like we feed off the energy of the crowd, and we don't get to see the eyes, the
Mm.
leer, like above you. So there's no point much.
But have you been doing like what local shows? Or have you also been doing anything online or like, I mean, you've been on tour and stuff, right? So do you still
Mm.
keep in touch? Are you still doing gigs like outside of Malaysia? Virtually,
Oh,
of course.
ever since the pandemic, it's all local, uh,
Hmm.
local live streams. Um, I mean, I would love to do something together with people from outside of the country. I mean, the other day I did a live stream that had people from New Zealand and
Hmm.
whatnot, but they're just in the audience. They participated, but it was mostly local, so I guess that counts.
Ah, that makes sense.
It definitely counts.
Yeah.
You lost your audio
But what
again.
kind of
Can you hear? Okay.
No.
Yeah.
Still
Lost you a
lost
bit
him.
there still.
Still lost him.
Wait.
Hey,
Ah, that's okay. All right.
okay, is it okay now? No.
Yeah. Yeah, can hear you. Test,
Hello.
test.
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Kind of potong steam, right? I mean, 2019 we toured. Remember we did
Hmm.
we did Indonesia. We planned, right? 2020. Actually,
Yeah,
ajak
we
Fabian. Actually, ajak Fabian also. If Fabian couldn't make it.
yeah?
Yeah. So,
damn.
but yeah, we already planned, right? 2020, guys, let's sort the rest of Java Island, right? We did the
Uh,
Jogja and the East, and
yeah. I mean, like Derek, like we called our group in a way was Salat Focus. If you, but then if you say it fast, then it was like Salat Fuckers. Salat Fuckers.
slut
Yeah.
straights, but sluts. Yeah, Americans are slut. What?
Actually, how Shahid said it sounded really Irish. Slut fuckers.
Slut fuckers. There you
It's
go.
really Irish cut through. So
Hey, but out of the gang, I thought I thought you had the best leverage. I think you moved some CDs and you had some fans,
Oh
some
yeah.
some Okay, share a bit lah. They're
yeah,
cute
yeah.
the story.
Tell us. Are you allowed to tell a story, or would your wife be upset about these stories?
I mean, like, I tell her bits and pieces of the story. I
Go
mean,
ahead.
like we went.
We're all ears.
I think that was like the third day, was it? We were in Jogja, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jogja.
So we were in Jogja, and then like it was a night under the stars type of show, and
Well,
then
that
we
was a
had
really nice place. Yeah.
yeah, very nice place. It was like paddy field right behind.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
I
was like night
remember
under the
seeing the
stars.
pictures that you guys posted. Fuck, that was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then like it was a nice show. Right after that, we spent some time enjoying ourselves in the company of other people. And then,
And you made a new fan.
yeah,
Yeah, that was.
I mean,
I found out that I told you, right? That fan was from this group. They call Amoeba, right?
oh yeah,
Ah,
They actually, yeah, it was on. They were featured on Vice. So essentially, they're kind of a LGBTQ
Mm.
trio, very experimental. Of course, when one of those members went up to you, like, he was really into you. It's like, this person looks familiar. Already have a lot of. I think I already wiped a lot of the rice wine, right? They were giving us. Not familiar. What is then like? I think after came back Malaysia, oh amoeba. I saw this on Vine. Oh, that's so cool, man. But that was interesting that night because you had Art Fazil from Singapore randomly appearing,
Oh
and
yeah,
he
mm.
that
was
was a shocker.
he said he rent a house in Jogja. It's like wow. So there you go. Malaysians, yeah, if you're tuning in, check out Jogja. Don't just go Bali.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been
Uh,
Oh Lord.
I've been to Bali twice. It's the only part of Indonesia that I've been.
You're
And it was
missing out, man.
and it was funny.
Missing out.
It was funny because like I was talking to these two girls in local Bali girls, like, and they were
Mm.
we were talking about the new. It was just the new elections that happened in Indonesia. So I was asking them about who they voted for, and they looked at each other and they go, "Are we part of Indonesia?"
Oh shit.
Yeah. There you go. State of mind Bali is
Yeah,
indeed. Yeah.
that's how much the Balinese don't give a shit about the rest of Indonesia. They didn't even know they're part of fucking Indonesia.
Yeah, because they're on a separate island, and then they get the most tourists, right? It's like Hawaii and the States.
Yeah.
Suppose.
They can just live off their own what you call this, yeah, man, but
Income
that
from
tour,
tourism. Yeah.
true. But that tour was funny. I mean, you learned that who's the loudest snorer. I think we had conversations with some other bands who came on the show about touring, and it's like, but
How long
that
were you
was
guys there?
We did 5
about,
cities, 5 nights. Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
yeah. But
That's good too.
the last one, no, it wasn't the last one. The second last one we did Salatiga. Remember
Yeah,
that
yeah.
huge? It was this mansion, this house run by this one guy, cool guy. He's like an architect something, right? And
He's an
uh,
architect slash art collector, right?
yeah. And
So like it's like
what's
a
it called?
huge ass mansion, and then like you have like this pieces of paintings that cost for like probably $10,000-$20,000. It's just lying there all
Yeah,
around the house, and then
it's a
like I remember,
cafe. Yeah,
yeah, it's also a cafe. So I
He's
remember,
got a
I
cafe
remember
in
like
his
we
house.
slept. It's
yeah. That's
a
open to public.
cafe,
Yeah,
cafe come art exhibition house, I
yeah.
suppose, something
It's like
like
a
that.
hub. Like remember after the gig, everybody hung out there, right? And
Yeah.
but it was scary, lah. I mean, which room do you get? I got this room at the outside, and like
You
actually,
slept alone, was it?
I
You were
slept
sleeping
alone,
alone.
and I was
Oh, okay.
outside, and I was like, it's a whole house, man. Shit, something will wake me up. Like I said, nothing happened, lah. But
I mean, I was in the room with Fikri, so then I thought,
oh, okay, okay.
yeah, so I thought to myself, macam, okay, I guess nothing is scarier than being with bayangan.
That's right. Just shadows appearing across you. And you played at what's this, right? The
Adoy's house.
Adoy's house, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean
So,
that
but
night, that day we split 3 venues, right? Like you and Jeremy did at that other cafe,
it was
right?
it was more like a art center. Yeah. I think the
Everything
only
is
one that
art over there in Salatiga.
yeah, it's crazy, man. Indonesia is like everything's art, man, and it's real, lah. It's like all the young kids come out and hang out. It's like and they're not shy, right? They ask you questions like, oh, cool. It's
Yeah.
like,
I mean,
I'm not.
Fabian, imagine this, right? It's a town full of music appreciators and art appreciators. Wherever you go, you see like people doing something with art.
Yeah.
Like, remember that girl, that jazz band that was at Salatiga as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
That's
it's
true.
like we got there, and then I was talking to them, and then they came from all around Indonesia.
Yeah.
Without any payment, and just for the love for music. I was like,
Yeah. So this was part of the what was it called again? Festival Music Rumah.
Huh.
yeah.
Yeah. So and simultaneously across Indonesia, they will have all these concerts at the same time. And remember there was this guy who we hung out on our last day before left. And he was playing on his piano, and he came all the way from Jakarta, took a train. And again, there was no payment for anything. Just go there.
Yeah, exactly.
He said like he's gonna take the train overnight and arrive at what 4 o'clock morning, and he's at work at 8. It's like
We're
wow.
talking Jakarta to Salatiga, so that's like 14
Yes.
hours.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Central Java. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean like over here in Malaysia, it's like you say that, oh, like I'm going to Malacca just to jam. So you feel like, whoa, that you're a big guy. Nice guy, you need to go that far. And then this guy like go 14 hours train ride to the center of
Yeah.
Java. Like, holy shit, man.
Yeah. It's not a big town, Salatiga. Remember we walked around after we arrived. It's like, wow, it's like beautiful, but I think there was it's always, I mean, going to Indonesia is trippy, like, it's like, wow, it's like that also can. It's like that, I feel that way, and I was like, oh, It's like Malang was interesting. We had the friends. Then yeah, I and there was a riot. Remember? We, so we arrived in Malang
Ah,
in the morning at the train, and then a friend called who ran the venue, and she said Vanya, by the way, a shout out to Vanya,
okay.
I'm just tuning in, and then she said something like, "Oh, we need to. There's riots. Papua
Mm, mm,
students
mm.
were
Ah,
writing here
okay.
where you guys, yeah, where you guys were staying." It's like what? Okay. So we bring you around first, right? She brought us somewhere else first.
So
We saw in the news later.
it's quite close to Bali then, Malang.
No, Malang is close to Surabaya, so it's East Java.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
you're chatting about it's only about 100 kilometers from Bali, which is quite close considering Indonesia's islands are all insane.
Well, not close if you consider the terrain lah. I think
Oh,
getting there we took a while. Yeah, from even Surabaya to Malang by train was I don't know how many hours. I got sick the morning I woke up in Surabaya. I remember that from all the day before went on a coffee tour, drink coffee, and I forgot how dusty the places are, right? So after our gig, I felt like shit on the train to from Malang to, and, but yeah, but riot. I mean, like it's just surreal, like strange, right?
Yeah, yeah,
But,
yeah.
but was that for your first time on that side of Indonesia, Jay?
I mean, I've been to Jogja, but then
Okay.
just for holiday, but not for music, or I didn't actually see the culture side of Jogja.
Ah,
Uh,
okay.
yeah, I mean, like I remember like when we were in Jogja that morning, we had breakfast, right? Everyone like macam so tired, so hangover from the night before, and then like,
Mm.
do you recall this group of Indonesian, probably like a society,
Oh
because
yeah, yeah.
the morning after the gig, it was actually the Indonesian Independence Day, right?
Yes.
okay.
So like they were all singing the Indonesia Raya, which is the national anthem, and
Yeah.
I mean, I like on the side. I like to do all this field recording, of things that I hear lah, of anything. So like I
Yeah.
recorded it, and then like up to this day, I still hear to that, and then it just brings back memories, like everything that happened that morning, that night before.
So is it safe to call you a folklorist?
Oh, what? Sorry.
A folklorist?
Yeah.
Uh, I mean,
You are. Yeah, you are. I think in a way without
Because that's a
necessarily.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a like there's that goes on in the states like that people will just travel around towns and city and find
Mm.
old kind of like folk songs in
mm,
Like
strange
Alan
places and just
Lomax. Yeah.
yeah and just record them like in situ like they're known as folklorists so it kind of sounds like what you're doing is it's a somewhat the folklorist type of thing like you're archiving like old songs and stuff
right. I
so
mean, but
yeah
And you have that sensibility. You do have that sensibility even with your music. So do you consider?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, like this project that I'm working on now, I am doing incorporating some of the field recordings that I've recorded in it. Like because I feel like like growing up, I listened to a lot of post rock, and then,
okay
like with
Mm.
post rock, yeah, with post rock, there's like a lot of field recordings. So I kind of like that
Mm.
idea lah. Um, but yeah, I mean, like I record to anything. Like it can just be people ranting about Najib. It can be people talking about shit, like, or even like a mom singing to a kid. I would record anything that I can get.
okay cool
Nice. Nice. So can we expect that in your? Is this your side project or is this like the future Sound Kites direction or?
I'm
Hmm.
putting in some of that in the upcoming one. But then
Nice.
like I would
Nice.
love to have a whole album just on field recording and Foley recording. That'd be great, man. Like one of
Hmm.
my dream is to be a Foley artist, but
Ah.
yeah.
Okay.
But then I don't think in Malaysia is that well sought after. I mean, like you watch
Oh,
the
it's
TV
Other.
no,
programs.
no, 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 no. It is, it
Oh,
is.
is it?
Yeah, all the post production houses that,
Yeah.
but like
Yeah.
most of them, what you, it's part and parcel of doing post production. Like, so if you're doing like of the guys are doing music scores, like people like Ash and Santosh and all from Nadir, they're all post production engineers. Like, and when they do their film scores, they do all the foley and stuff like that. There, in their film
Yeah, but you don't have the Foley like in America lah. The whole studio, there's a rock gravels and small
you
doors,
can,
no lah.
well,
Yeah, now you can record lah. We use
they use
on in your rooms.
there's certain programs
Yeah.
they have certain programs they use that will
Yeah.
you can just type in the type of sound you're looking for because it's more efficient. They don't have the budget of the big Hollywood studios. They have
Right.
Foley, but it's still
Yeah,
Foley. But like I've done some minor stuff. Like I've asked Ash because I'm really interested in Foley as well. Like so I've asked
Yeah.
Ash to send me films that he's done before, but with no sound on it, and then I just spent the day just trying to create the Foley sounds and stuff like that of them, like, and I would send it to him and get critiqued on it, like, so yeah. Foley.
What's your
In
thought
film
process?
school, yeah, in film school, when I was in film school, I was very interested in Foley, but then I realized like they just didn't have facilities, and that time was still CDs, you know. So they have like a whole CD of dogs barking,
Yeah.
of cars crashing, so like 500 like
You-
doors closing.
Usually from the
Like now it's all digital, right?
usually from the BBC archives. That was the best
Yeah.
place to get the best place to get any Foley sound back in the day was the BBC archives because they were
Yeah.
the BBC were doing it from the 50s, like, because
Yes.
they had such invented Foley, so that they were archiving
Yeah.
any sort of sound, like.
I remember we used to
Yeah.
get CDs with like CDs like MP3 CDs, and you'd have like 200-300 like
Yeah.
just MP3s of like whatever sound that you're
Sounds.
looking
Sound,
for, right?
better.
So I think if we would go back in time, I think you would have loved that job. It's like, hey, what are you doing today? Yeah. Well, cool. I didn't know. So you have this interest in sort of kind of field recordings and stuff lah. Where did that come from? I mean, the interest, was it? Because I remember you told me about the origins of your name, like Sounds of Kites. You know, it's memories, right? So what sound and memory, was that a big part of your interest and all this stuff?
I'm not really a visual type of person. Like I feel like I can imagine better by listening to sounds. So, and I feel like sound is a much better idea generating platform rather than visual. Like like you listen to an album as a whole, right? And then you watch it live.
Yeah.
Right? If the artist performs it from start to finish following the album as well. And then it's like reading a book compared against watching a film. You read a book, then you get to imagine, you get to actually spend more time thinking about what is actually trying to be portrayed, what is trying to be said. So just the other day, like my apartment basement, there's this sound, some machine sound, like kind of eerie. So like I would be walking with my wife, and then I would just stop halfway and just look that direction, and then she'd be like, "What's wrong?" Nothing. It's like just something that that sparked my interest.
You're going to have to tell her eventually why you fucking keep stopping in the middle of.
She should know by now, right?
Yeah, he's going to start fucking freaking out. What the fuck's going on in his head?
If it was a horror film, you'd be like, I see dead people.
Yeah.
Or you're an X-Men. I hear sounds no one hear. I'm sound man.
Yeah, you stay behind the counter, bro.
Or, it actually might be better if you don't tell her, because you start telling her, "Oh, do you hear that fucking grinding weird sound? And that's so interesting. I want to record that. See what I think." She's gonna just go, "He's a fucking strange, weird person."
Hey, they married you. I mean, all of our partners have to accept that,
Yeah. All our partners think we're strange, weird men. So like,
It keeps that mystery. They gotta have that, like they haven't figured us out.
Usually women, usually women are thinking, "What is he thinking of another woman?" We're all thinking of strange sounds.
No, yes. Exactly, is right. Yeah.
Like people,
Sorry,
guys
my
will be
thoughts.
guys will be like flipping through TikTok and Instagram. I'll be like SoundCloud. What's happening?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
My wife's always like, "What are you watching on YouTube?" I'm watching a guy tell me how to record certain things. She's going, "Huh?" I go, "Do you want to listen to me?" No. I go, "Okay." So, okay.
Hey, but I think that what you're doing is great because you already have the interest. Is yeah, like what Derek said. You know, I mean, early on, a friend of mine, he burnt like CDs of Alan Lomax. I don't know if you heard of Alan Lomax. He was this folklorist who used to go across America and just
Okay,
record,
okay.
and
Yeah.
and I think that's a very important part. I think of our history. That's not. I mean, this can be anything. It's not about traditional music or what.
No, it
Could
can be
be
anything.
anybody.
As long as
Yeah, it can be anything.
as long as you're archiving history, like it's like
Yeah,
some like old storytellers or and stuff like that, or
yeah,
like which are great. Like you always there's an old time, there's always a guy, the old man who tells stories. Like see,
yes,
there's people who archive that as well. Like so yeah,
yeah. Go with that, man. I think that's interesting.
yeah.
Tangent. Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know how far you've gone. Have you like recorded like people talking and your conversations and just like them not knowing and you
Yeah, yeah,
record?
yeah,
You know?
yeah. After that, actually,
I like that.
No, you have to ask for permission.
yeah, actually, yeah.
Uh,
I'm not encouraging you to go about recording people, not ask them and then release it.
I was a bit of a wannabe folklorist because when I was in Melbourne like 20 years ago, I had this Dutch friend, and one day he was always complaining about the price of pot in Melbourne. Expensive here. It's Dutch, right? So one day he apparently put a block to his account because he had spent too much. And he
Right.
called me and said, "Hey, Asmel, you want to buy a camera?" I said, "What camera?" "Video camera, high-end video camera." "Oh, okay." "Oh, you want to buy a pot?" so, okay. So okay, I bought it. So I mean, so I had this high-end, and I would go everywhere holding it and recording things. And it would always be in my pouch. So I'll be
Right.
drunk, walk back, and. So, but all those high-aids, I had stacks of it. Left it a friend, asked him to digitize. Apparently he didn't. He just left it in the store, and I think the thing's all moldy.
Oh, damn.
But yeah, that was the end of my folklorist years. But you start realizing, right, that with the advent of, I think, digital culture and YouTube, you think like this archive of material, right? And I think you have more what you I think like this, you're more what you call it, you take care of things better. Like if for me, it's like, I'll just leave it like that, I'll throw it friend,
Right.
it's right, forget about it. So I think that could be your new jam also on the side, man. Have you ever, you're already doing that, right?
Yeah, yeah, I guess so. I guess so.
Man, I do it for
And
a living, way.
yeah,
Listening to
hey,
your
you'll
talk,
be
I do it for a living.
surprised, dude.
My
Yeah.
phone, if you just go through my phone and the recordings that
Yeah.
every sports, every athlete that I'm standing there and just recording.
Oh, you also, yeah, you have this archive of history, it's like these histories. I think it's
It's archeo-
what you call this.
it's archaeology. That's what it is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He studied archaeology, man. I think it's very important, and
Yeah, it's just the
that's something doesn't exist here.
It's just the archaeology of conversation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
It's
Okay,
definitely
guys.
worth it. I mean,
So I think we'll leave it there for our first part of the
okay.
show. So we'll take a 10-minute break and then jump in with the second half. We'll try to get into your Shad's your musical
Journey.
journey. Yeah. So we'll get into that in the second half. So a 10-minute, we'll jump back in on the same link if that's okay.
Right.
Right.
Sure.
Okay, Shad, thank you so much, and we'll see you in 10 minutes.
See you in a bit.
Yeah.
All right.
And we're back with the Shahid, or as he's known as Sound of Kites podcast. Thank you for staying with us, Shahid. Hopefully I pronounced your
Yeah,
name
man.
right correctly. Because I always fuck up names. So, your musical journey, how did it begin?
I think when I was like 7 years old, I actually joined a nasheed group.
Wow.
Okay,
Yeah.
describe to me what a nasheed group is, because I have no idea.
So a nasheed group is like a bunch like a boy band. Think of it like
Oh.
a boy band, but it's all singing religious songs.
Got you.
But, yeah, like Islamic religious songs,
yeah,
yeah.
I've seen a few of those about, and you've got the boyish, pretty boy, baby face thing going on as well. Like
Hey.
I can see you being in a boy band, even a
And that was a rave, I think. I think there was a rave at your age around that time, right?
Yeah. It was
Yeah,
like
Raihan way.
Raihan, Rabbani, and all the lot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Okay. So like I started with that for a few years, and then actually growing up, like my dad was. Cause my dad is a self-taught musician, so he like I would come home from school and I would hear him play the sax.
Okay,
Then
cool.
being the teenager that I was against everything that he was into. So like he would be like he would tell me his favorite song is Simon and Garfunkel, like Bridge Under Troubled Water. Then I'm like, no, that's like the worst song in the world. But then like when I'm older now, it's like one of the best songs like in the world.
What rebel, teenager.
Yeah. I mean, so like growing up, I didn't really listen to much music. I was more into like the typical boy band. My favorite, like someone asked me what's my favorite song. Can't Fight the Moonlight.
Hmm.
From that movie. Yeah, so so that was that. Then at 16, I remember I asked my dad for if I could go for drum lessons, and then he said no.
No.
I mean, he said no. If I want to learn the drums, I gotta learn by myself. You know that kind of attitude.
Oh,
that was
I
from-
learned the sax by myself. You learn the goddamn drums by
Yeah,
yourself.
exactly.
Yeah, you
exactly.
learn the sax.
Like one of the story I like about my dad was that because he came from a very poor family up in Kelantan,
Yeah.
and like he was so into music, but he had no money. He actually made his own guitar. But like it's like a cheap ass guitar, like hit like a bunch of plywood and like some fishing strings, and then like he put it together, and then he made the guitar out of it lah. But none that guitar is gone lah for sure. Yeah, so he's that. And then when I was in college, my roommate had a guitar, and actually at that point in time, I hated the guitar. Like sorry to say that, but I hated the guitar. I hate the sound
Why?
that it makes. Why?
Yeah,
I
why?
guess, I guess because like to me, like the guitar is the reason why I don't get to learn the drums.
I see.
It's
Okay,
like
okay.
like I because my dad plays the guitar at home, he plays the sax, so like I see the guitar, I'm like that's the image of hatred right there. But then I had no other form of entertainment. This was before smartphone, so like I was like up in Kedah, and like we were stuck in a dorm during the days, and then we're not allowed to go out. So like my roommate had a guitar, and then like so I asked him to teach me a song lah. So the first song he taught me was "Kiss Me" by Sixpence None the Richer.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and then that started it off. And then I never grew up. I was never into what most other people would listen to growing up. I never listened to Nirvana. Sorry to say, but
Interesting.
I mean, sorry to say. I
Yeah.
mean, like the first Nirvana song I ever heard was actually was it called Paper Hearts? Was it? It was
Paper
from
Cuts. Paper Cut.
Paper cuts.
Paper Cut is from Bleach. Was it?
No, probably
No.
maybe incesticide. Is that
Okay,
what
but I remember like
Oh,
the
okay,
first,
okay. Beside.
like the first time I ever heard a Nirvana song was actually on a phone game. It was like one of
Oh,
those.
shit.
Yeah, it was like one of those ringtone kind of sounds. Hey, this kind of nice. What is this?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So because like around my neighborhood, my group of guys, where I grew up, they don't listen to music. It's all about football.
Hmm.
Yeah, and my dad, he doesn't really share his experience of music, so I had to delve into it by myself lah. Then eventually, I mixed around with some people who listen to a lot of the Strokes, so I got into that for quite a bit. Um, then I found
This was boarding school. This was boarding school.
this was actually Form 5, so right before boarding school lah. Yeah,
Okay,
but then boarding school was when I first learned the guitar. Then
Okay.
yeah, and then like the post rock thing was during boarding school as well. Like, I was listening to a lot. I think like I was watching the 28 Days Later, the movie.
Okay.
Yeah, like spectacular movie lah, Cillian Murphy, and then like
Mm.
Killian.
the
Killian Murphy.
Killian.
Killian Murphy. Oh, sorry, mate.
Not Cillian.
You can trust Derek. Yeah.
yeah. Sorry, man.
Use
Sorry.
Malaysians with your C's, pronouncing it as a C. Pronounce C's correctly. We don't pronounce C's correctly back home. We pronounce it like a K. So it's Killian.
It's relative. There's no correct. It's relative.
Yeah, I mean like cake. Is it like Malaysian cake and
Yeah,
English
see,
cake?
yeah.
It only
So,
makes sense when you say chibai. Chibai, you know, that's
Yeah.
correct. It's not
Who-
kibai.
Who did the score? Who did the score for 28 Days Later? Which post-rock bands was in that? Was it Modern?
How did they-
Godspeed was there.
Godspeed? Okay.
Yeah,
Wow,
I mean
that
like
was
the
killer,
intro,
huh?
the intro scene where he was walking up from
Yeah,
the
yeah.
hospital and everything was chaotic. So
Is
I
that
think it was the
Godspeed?
song.
Shit,
Yeah.
that was Godspeed.
There was Godspeed.
Shit.
East Hastings. Yeah, it was my first time listening to Godspeed. And I was like, "Whoa, what is this?" And then then I looked up a lot more post rock. Then I really enjoyed. So that's where my interest of field recording came about.
Okay.
Yeah, and then after college, then I kept playing the guitar. Played guitar. Wrote a few songs when I was in uni. But at the beginning, it was all about pop songs. Because that point in time, I was still listening to a lot of Arctic Monkeys stuff. The early days.
Okay.
Yeah.
The first
and-
album.
Yeah.
The
the
Arctic
first album
Monkeys,
was-
yeah.
Yeah. And then so my first time going on stage performing, I actually went under my own name, like Shahid Ibrahim. And then I remember right after that gig, I came down the stage and I was like I imagine myself like people like I think at the behind Mel at Mandikarya. She said, "Okay, next on stage is Shahid Ibrahim." And then it hit me like, oh, shit, I sound like a Malaysian pop star, which I don't want to be. Yeah, so like after that night, I quickly changed my stage name to what it is now.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean even that name, like it came about because I saw a bunch of kids playing kites with the grandpa. I think I told you this, Azmir. So like they were flying the kite and they're making all sorts of noise, and then I thought, okay, that would be what the emotions that kites would bring about, and that emotion, if I close my eyes, I would see it. And it's the sounds that surrounds it. So that was it.
Yeah. Cool.
But Shahid, I remember that you kind of also took like lessons and stuff with us, right? And that was that recent, or was that also at the start of like your musical journey?
That was actually my first proper music class. Like
I heard ours is very garang, man. Garang, ah?
no, tak garang, but he's more like he doesn't want you to waste time. Like when you get to the class, you better learn the song that he was teaching you in the class before.
Yeah, Az doesn't fuck about.
Yeah.
But which is a good
Teacher should
trait
be-
in a teacher lah. I say, yeah.
Hmm.
But then I mean before that class, I never had any proper lessons.
Formal,
So, like,
no more formal education.
None, nothing.
Yeah.
So I remember going to that class. He was teaching me jazz, and then I was like, oh shit! Like I already know how to play C, G, D, and A minor, bro. And like if I want to
That's the 4 best chords you need.
wait, and then if I want to change the pitch, I just capo it up, bro. Yeah, so he actually introduced me to like playing more complex sounding type of music, which at that point I think I needed because I was stuck in a rut of playing the same kind of sound over and
Yeah.
over again, four time signature. Yeah.
And if you want to grow as a musician, especially if you're listening to post rock and you want to grow as a musician, you're going to want to develop a palette of textures that you can add to
Yeah.
your own sounds.
Not just buy pedals. Yeah, don't
Yeah.
just buy pedals.
Work for the Edge for
Nice,
40
nice.
years.
Yeah, but that's fascinating. I like the fact that you hated guitars at start.
Yeah.
Because I know you as you go gig, you got like two guitars, like from
Correct,
hating
yeah.
guitars, like you got different tunings. How did that come about? That the whole alternate did that come after the lessons with us, alternate tunings? How did that come about? That's
So that
fascinating.
lesson with us was actually right after I released the album. So
Oh,
before that,
okay.
I
yeah.
see.
So that was like later on after I released the album lah. So, like what happened? Like I remember going to one of the gig that was organized by Reza Saleh, at Publica.
Feedback, yeah.
Yeah, feedback. It was a Valentine's night feedback open mic. So I was there, and then like I was gonna perform two songs, and the songs are in different tunings, right? So like first song was in standard, and the second song was in C. Right? So yeah, so I was like tuning on stage, and then the string broke, and then I was like, shit, I gotta get another guitar. So yeah, yeah,
That's
I'm
cool
back.
though.
Yeah, but then it's tiresome lah. I mean, having to lug around guitars, but then
So now you're gonna have groupies
What's
lah.
what's your tune? What's your tuning?
sorry man.
What tuning?
Yeah, what's your tunings?
Yeah, what's your
Oh.
tunings?
My go-to right now would be D G A G F sharp D.
DGA.
Wow.
DGA. DF.
That's custom, huh? That's a custom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
D G A
How-
G F sharp D. Yeah.
How do you get into the whole alternate tunings thing? How did that come about? Yeah.
Oh, I was listening to a lot of The Tallest Man on Earth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he plays in alternate tunings all the time. So I was like, I think I was learning one of his songs, and then like from that point, actually I don't have to make a shape to make a chord. So yeah, that's how it came about lah. But then that
you can just shoot one finger like that and just go up.
exactly. I mean, it's like
I was the same when
Yeah.
when I started listening to Soundgarden, and I first started to find out Soundgarden tunings. Soundgarden's got some fucked up weird tunings.
Oh yeah,
Right,
crazy
yeah.
tunings, man.
Crazy tunings. Like you should check out some Soundgarden songs. I'm not talking about Black Hole
Yeah.
songs. Black Hole songs drop deep.
No.
Like some weird songs. Like some of the stuff is, I mean, it's crazy tunings.
Yeah, like
yeah.
burden on my hand. Yeah, yeah, she's got sounding. Yeah.
Burden in my hand is, I think it's open C. I'm nearly
Okay.
Open sea. Yeah. That's Shahid's territory.
or
You can cover burden in my hand.
no, it might not be C. I think burden in my hand is C C B B B B B or something like that. I mean, not tunings like. I mean,
Right.
but it's amazing. So you hear the song, you're going like, "That sounds amazing!" Like, and
Oh,
then,
yeah.
and then you learn the tune, and you're going, "I can't tune my guitar down to this nonsense."
Exactly how you felt. I
It's something
feel
like
all
that.
the time.
You're just waiting for the string to break.
Exactly. Like I would see like some of these like international artists, and then they're like on stage, they just tune the guitar from a E to a C, and like they don't even worry about it. Like how Jeremy did, remember? I mean, I'm like,
Yeah,
"Holy
yeah,
shit,
no
man!" I'm like waiting for it
Yeah,
to break.
but their guitars are set up properly by good.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But how many guitars do you have now, dude? Look at him staring.
Probably not.
9.
9.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I mean, like I got a banjo, I got a lap steel. I guess that counts.
That counts.
Okay,
What tune is the pedal stealing?
Well, the thing about pedal steel is I've only had it a few months, and I haven't really played around with it. But I just keep it in open D
Open
usually.
D, okay.
Okay.
Open D is a good tune for pedal steel because it's either Open D or Database. Is it Database? Is it Database?
That get. I used to play it in that get. Yeah.
I guess pure country.
Yeah,
so
man.
it is.
Yeah, lap style.
I think
Yeah.
anybody who's ever done folk or country has played.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once they figured out that, yeah, they've been played.
Or like a variation of it. I mean, it's so easy to play. Right?
Yeah, one finger D. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't have to make
Yeah,
shape.
yeah.
Don't have to make shapes anymore. It's great.
Yeah.
I remember my first bandmate told me, he said, "Hey, alternate tuning, you should tune all the same notes." You're like, G, 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 G. And he did. I did try. It sounded like an airplane, man. but that's why I find it interesting that you explored alternate tunings
Mm.
early on.
I mean, like
Yeah.
the tune I was telling, the DGA GF sharp D, it came about
Mm.
by mistake because I got this guy off a Japanese guy who was living in Malaysia, and then when I got it, the peg was broken, right? And then
Oh.
so I couldn't tune the fourth string up, and like it was stuck in A. And then I was thinking like, okay, but I want to play the guitar before. I mean, right now. So like, what tuning I can I put it in that I can play? And I was thinking, okay, I can just put it D, G, A, G, F sharp because I want that 7, and D.
Nice. There you go, man. That's about leveraging what you got.
Yeah, but that
Nice.
also means like before your shows, like the whole pre-show setup is like you got to get it all done at home properly lah. Like you got to know what songs on your
Exactly.
right. It's
Yeah,
not like
even
me
my
going for busking and just like winging
yeah.
it without a set list, like
Yeah.
tiba-tiba stop sekejap, like hey, what songs to play next,
Next
yeah, I
time,
mean, I think
next time you play Murdercaria, where you're headlining, where you've got more than 9 songs to play, bring all 9 and have them all in different tunes. Because I want to see,
Yeah, man.
I want to see Purzaha's face when you land.
I mean, like the stage should be like lined up with
It's
guitars.
just guitars, yeah.
How many bands playing tonight? Oh, it's just some of guys, man.
One guy.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Does your songwriting sensibility change with its tuning, or how does it work with you?
yeah.
um like it would start usually like if I'm bored with a particular tuning, I would like try to learn another song by like an already made song, and then it's in a different tuning, and then using that from that tuning, then I would try to explore the different kind of
Progressions and
the progression and the
yeah.
mood that it brings about. Sometimes it's like it naturally comes out as an augmented sound, and like, oh okay, that would be interesting to make. Yeah, I mean, but then I guess it depends really on what I'm feeling. Like there was a time I went up to Cameron Highlands alone. I went to Cameron Highlands, so I stayed there at night. Brought my guitar, and then it was raining. And then I think at the point in time the tuning was in CGCE, and then it was naturally sound bright, but then because of the mood that I was in, then I managed to find something that's a bit moody. Yeah, I mean, it depends on the mood lah, I guess. Depends on the mood.
And how many EPs or albums have you done? And where?
I got one out already.
EP or
but
album?
Album.
Okay. And where did you
Love that
record
one. Good one.
I recorded with Madan.
it? Paul Sandworks.
Yeah, Paul Soundworks. Yeah.
Shout out to
Paul
Madam.
Soundworks. Yeah.
Was that the old Pulse or the new one?
Oh, so we did. We recorded one song in the old one in Subang, and then
Yeah.
we did the other 10 in the new one because like it was during the transition phase.
Okay.
So like that one song, it sounded slightly different.
Well, yeah.
And different tuning also.
But early on, I didn't really explore much different tuning. Probably
Okay.
just one open C, and like another variation. But that was it. I mean, like now, I want to explore more because sometimes like, I find that the standard tuning is interesting, but it's very predictable to me at least. So like different kind of tunings, like it brings about different kind of emotions.
It's nice to see how you the difference in your English and Malay songs, because very rarely you will hear a Malay song in an alternate tuning.
Yeah.
These songs are usually quite standard, and
Really?
I think
Yeah,
that's yeah, very seldom. I mean, like not that I know of, but it usually sounds kind of at least contemporary kind of like pop structure. It tends to be standard tuning.
Yeah.
So that terrain is interesting. That you're exploring, man. Yeah.
I remember like I think during Hari Raya last year, yeah, like there was this like someone approached me and said that hey, they thinking of me to sing
Raya song.
a Raya song, right? It was the Satu Hari di Hari Raya song, but then they wanted to see a video of me performing the song. So I tried to learn the song in standard, and I'm like, oh man, I can't do this. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it in OpenSea.
Yeah,
So yeah, but I did it in OpenSea, and then like I didn't hear from them back.
Close-minded people, see, they want you to just
They're
do
probably
how
go- they're probably going, "Where's the keyboard intro? Where's the fucking big guitar solo?
Yeah.
Where's this?"
Yeah. Yeah, where's the ceruling, you know? They want- Oh man.
Unfortunately,
That's
unfortunately. So they're just stuck in their old ways, and they just want things a certain way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's like they're stuck with a certain sound, and they expect to hear that sound over and over again.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that, especially
Oh,
if
that's
like
what
this
they-
is a classic, right?
If that's what they want,
Yeah.
but like they're missing out on a lot.
Yeah. So nothing to lose, lah. I mean, when you try something like that, what you did, the response is that fine. I mean, at least you get a sense of okay, these guys aren't they're not fun. Yeah.
At least now we know where to go to for alternate Raya songs.
Exactly. That's the market there. We should do a compilation of like alternate Raya songs. Yeah.
Alternative Raya song in alternate tunings.
Oh.
You should,
Yeah,
release,
like-
you should release some alternative Raya songs for the correct.
Yeah, like a field recording Raya song. Just win.
Yeah, an alternate,
The highway.
Or
an
like the
alternate
sound of
universe. This is how Raya
or
sounds
the
like.
sound of Polita and oboe tengah bakar.
Oh, and loop that. Yeah, that's interesting, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, but then I currently I'm taking a songwriting class because I just wanna go for it, and like the teacher, if you know Amir Jahari,
Mejari, yes.
I mean I take the class with him. So like he like one of his lesson like he was telling me that the important thing when it comes to songwriting is reference. Like you always talk about reference. Like you gotta learn a song as how it was made. Right, by learning the structure and like everything that went through the idea and the mind of the musician, then you would know what decisions they made, and like after learning that, then I can come up with my own rendition based on my own emotion lah. So then from that angle, okay, then I try my best to learn how a song is made, and then I put my own spin on it.
Yeah, that's a good tip, actually. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
hey, that's
he's a-
actually very
he's-
interesting.
Yeah.
It's very interesting because you guys were talking about like Indonesia, right, earlier, and so in 2019, I also had like a little Indonesian experience of playing in a few different places when I was there. One was in Kios,
Yeah, chaos. Yeah.
Kios, right? So Azmil has played in Kios, and then I also played a show at Enda and Resa's place, which is in Tangerang.
Dekat-
And what I know is like it's different lah. That sense of community, you know. So like Enda and Resa's place, like you would think that it's very similar to Merdekaria, you know, the concept. It's
Right, right.
it's a coffee joint, you know, you have that vibe and all that. But you have musicians just going there to hang out and to also support like whoever that's coming to play there. And apart from just having like, let's say, open mic night, it's like every night they have something else. And Enda also has this club, songwriting club, you know, so they would all get together, and you're actually sitting down there with Enda and Resa, and Enda and Resa is big, you know, and you know, they're just sitting down there and just chilling with them, and you know, they
That's
have
cool,
this songwriting club, and then you know they perform the songs and all those kind of things. I was like, wow, that's great to actually have that sort of a collective. Like I am slowly, like, you know, like when you mentioned just now reference, and I think I'm slowly moving in that direction now. Like I want to write songs, and I want to have reference. Like there must be a reference point, and then I work my song around it,
Right,
because
right,
that
right.
song really means something to me. And I think, hey, you know, it gives you an idea, because then you also get to pick words that actually fit that moment or that idea, that feel and everything else.
Yeah,
Right, right,
sort of
right.
like a map, isn't it? Yeah, you can have a
Yeah.
map, and
Yeah.
once you know the map, you can like go where you want to.
Mm.
Cool.
Oh, that's an
Can take
interesting
that.
way. Yeah, a map.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
Well, there's a
yeah,
map. Music's a map. Your musical journey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry.
yeah.
Some maps can be kind of straightforward and linear, and then some of them can be all over the fucking shop. But
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Oh, well, like Waze brings you to some weird ass road just for a
yeah.
shortcut.
some cul-de-sac you've never
We
seen
heard those,
before.
yeah, we heard those horror stories. Yeah, like interesting journey, man. Damn.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
like the fact that you hated the guitar. I love that. But I don't
Okay.
fetishize the guitar, but I think that's pretty interesting. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. We have come to the end of the podcast, which
Right.
because I think
Yeah, man.
it's stupid o'clock in the morning, and we're all very tired. And we should go to bed. Aside from Asmal,
yeah.
I think Asmal just getting started here. With lots of it.
But look at my
He
eyes,
just woke
man.
up.
I'm
He
like,
I'm
just woke
so,
up.
I'm so tired. I've been at it since 7:30 this morning. No, Shahid, thank you so much for appearing on the podcast.
yeah,
Yeah,
man.
thank you
Thanks so
very
much.
much,
It's
guys.
good to see you, dude.
Do you have
Yeah,
any,
man.
do you have anything coming up in the immediate future that you can share with us?
Yeah. I mean, I just finished mastering the new album.
Oh, excellent.
Oh.
Excellent.
Yeah. So this one, like, I'm putting more field recordings.
Okay.
Mm.
Ah,
So like, I remember the first album, someone commented. I mean, like one of the reviews said that, like I'm Malaysian folk singer, but I only have 2 Malay songs. That doesn't make sense. So macam, okay, so now I'm doing 3 Malay songs.
all right. That's a nice out.
Sticking it to the man. Wait a
Yeah,
minute.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's coming up. I recorded it with Shariman from Melodia Recording.
Okay.
Okay.
I literally was working in Melodia today. It literally
Oh,
just
were
came
you?
from there,
Cool.
yeah. Literally just came straight from Melodia to here. That's why I was late because I was there since 7:30 this morning.
Dude, so you're near me.
Yeah, we were doing a kind of there were 7 acts playing, so we were kind of doing a video shoot of them playing live, like so.
Right, okay.
Noah Sally and Enterprise and Impatient Sisters and No
What
Noise
show is this?
Percussion. It won't be released until January 2022. So it'll be on. It's a video recording, but they're playing in Melodia's live room.
The studio.
Yeah, and I was doing the kind of the live sound and recording the backup recording. Like, but yeah, that's what it was today. So yeah, it's a
Wow,
nice,
that must have been a damn long process, lah.
nice wee
No
studio.
wonder you were just stuck there.
Nice,
So-
nice. What a
when-
coincidence. Yeah.
when are you planning on releasing this?
Well, the plan is Q1 next year because now I'm in the ideation phase of like making the album. I mean, the songs are ready,
Yeah.
right? But I feel like the song are just parts of the album. The album has to have like its own idea, lah. Like
This is the fun part. This is the fun part.
yeah, the fun part, the fun part. Like the first album, like if you remember Azmi, like you open it and I want it to be very personal. Like you open it and you see trees, you see like other things lah. So this time around, I'm trying to think. I still have no idea yet what direction I want to make, but then I probably would base it around the songs, like how are the song that will be on the album. So that's that. Apart from that, I'm also doing a spaghetti western project.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Nice.
like, me and 2 other guys, like
Wow.
we've jammed a few times. Like macam the idea is we want to make a spaghetti western album,
Okay.
and it's supported by a comic book. So
Alright,
like
cool.
the comic book chapters will be coinciding with the title tracks. You
Oh,
know, like
it's-
you in this
okay.
chapter, you're supposed to listen to track
Yeah,
Wow.
it'll be like it will be like Coheed and Cambria then with the Armory Wars. All Coheed and
Nice.
Cambria's albums, aside from one, I think is based around an individual comic book called the Armory
Right,
Wars.
right.
Like so, like yeah,
Wow.
sort of the same. Concept.
Exciting, man.
Okay,
Great.
that's great to hear. So we look forward. Well, when those things are released, we'll get you back on to talk.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
man.
that'd be good, yeah.
Yeah.
We can discuss those in future. So, Shahid, thank you so much for appearing. It's been a
Yeah, dude,
pleasure.
thanks so
For
much,
having
man.
me, guys. Yeah, it was so good to be here.
See you again. Yeah, man.
So,
Yeah.
the Shahid podcast, or as you know as the Sound of Kites, is over and out. Cheers.
Cheers, man.
Ciao.
Guys.